Got it.
Yay! Hey guys, today I have Bo Green joining me to chit chat a little bit about our practices and what we have going on. I'm gonna just jump to it because we're gonna do a short, sweet 20 to 30-minute session. So I'm gonna just let him speak. I'm gonna let him introduce himself, and then we're gonna chit chat somewhat about what we're doing. So there you go, Bo. Introduce yourself to our people.
Hey everyone, my name is Bo Green. I'm originally from Orlando, Florida, and I've been traveling all around the world and all around Florida, and just to come right back here to my home space, and it's been incredible to be here and to make the different connections that I've had in Florida. And I just recognize how beautiful an oasis it is here.
Yes, love Florida. Just left a little over a year ago and miss it very much, miss the weather. So, anyways, let's start. Today, I would like to talk with you, Bo, about what got you into this healing path that you are in. Like, what's your story? What was the turning point that got you into, these practices that you do and that you share with people? So, a little bit of your story for us today.
Okay, well, what kind of got me started in the healing journey was scrubbing decks. I got this job as a deckhand, working in the yachting industry. After I got my degree and my master's in marine biology, I was like, I'm gonna go travel the world and get paid for it. Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm gonna work on a yacht. And little did I know, I'm on my headphones on, I'm scrubbing somebody's deck, all day.
So
And
fun.
I'm just like, man, there has to be something different in life than scrubbing this deck, right? So I'm listening to like Robert Kiyosaki. I'm listening to all these like people trying to pump myself up. Finally, for the first time ever, I get fired from this job. Never been fired in my whole entire life. I was so upset because I'm such like an overachiever. I'm like, what? They hate me. I was so embarrassed, right? So finally, I didn't know what to do. I came up, called my mom, crying, right? But then I decided, I had a crazy idea. I ended up being a part-time model, which was strange, and also an Uber driver.
Oh,
And I had this idea to build my own yacht, to create my own land yacht, from my Cadillac that I bought for my mom, and I put a rooftop tent on it. And I decided to be an Uber driver all around the United States. Right. So during my journey, I got really bored, and I was like, I'm gonna start listening to audiobooks. And so one of the first audiobooks I listened to was The Surrender Experiment
oh,
and The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. And as I was driving around, I just kind of looked at everything and really developed a relationship with myself, with my car, with nature, with God. And it started changing my life. And all the like this whole entire journey around the United States, up into Canada, and all the way over to California. California was the biggest turning point for me because number one, I ran out of money, and number two, I had this experience that really changed my life forever. And I decided, I hit kind of like rock bottom. I decided to get rid of everything in my life, all the things I was holding on to. I
yes.
got rid of. I got rid of drinking. I got rid of smoking. I got rid of even, having sexual relations with partners. I was like, you know what? I'm getting rid of all of it. I even fasted. I was like, I'm not even going to eat. And for 3 days, I fasted and just drank the water from Lake Tahoe. And from then on, my journey just completely changed.
Wow.
And it developed me into the person I am today.
Wow. That's beautiful, man. So that resonates. Like, I needed to go through a lot to get rid of alcohol and smoking and all that stuff too. So that really resonates. So Share with us a little bit of like what were the practices that you started introducing to be able to do that? Like I know for myself, for instance, it was very hard. I had tried several
Mm,
different things to get rid of alcohol. And also it's like one part of it that was very difficult for me too is that my whole life was surrounded by that. Like all the friends that I had were, heavy drinkers with me and all of that. So it's like when you decide to get yourself out of the pack, it's like, what now? Right. So what helped you to go through the process? Like what were the practices that you were doing that helped you go through the process?
well, I started my meditation journey right before that. So, I would go and meditate. But actually, in the beginning, I was super self-conscious about meditation. I didn't want to
How
do it in
so?
front of everybody. I would hide and meditate. I didn't want anybody to see me, right? So, but I did do my meditation, and for me, what I really needed was to be alone
Mm,
because I was around people that were new. I didn't have people that were influencing me and were like, oh, yo, you want to go to the bars? You want to do this? You want to do this? I was able to decide for myself what I wanted to do
mhm.
and to be true to what I set out to do for myself. Right. So I remember the first time ever going out sober, I was so scared. I was so scared.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, my heart was beating. Boom, 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 boom. I was in this new town, didn't know anybody. But I was like, all right, what kind of makes me feel similar to being drunk, but, isn't drinking? I was like, coffee. That's what I could do.
Oh.
Energy. So I remember sitting in my car, about to go into this nightclub, super nervous, by myself, by the way,
Oh, wow.
and in this new place where I didn't know anybody. And I just remember, okay, I, this. And I looked, I looked down at my Insta coffee and I realized I didn't have a cup. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. I shoved the Insta coffee into my mouth, mixed it with with a water bottle, shook it around and drank it. I was like, let's go.
We can do this.
So I ended up doing it. And of course I was nervous. And of course it was scary. And I actually had to my surprise, I had a few women come up to me and approach me, and I didn't know what to do because might have been drinking and dancing. And I was nervous. I was like, what do I do?
Right.
And eventually, the confidence has brought itself back the more I expose myself to going out of my comfort zone sober.
I love that. I love it. I think it's even a book when they say feel the fear and do it anyways.
Mm,
That's like so important for our growth. And I go through it all the time too. It's like you were saying before. I like to challenge myself, into things that it's kind of like, ooh, I don't know about that. And I notice the result out of it. You feel stronger. You feel a lot more self confidence from it. It's unbelievable
mm.
what it can do. So that's good that you brought that up. I wanted to touch into self confidence because I find you to be one of the most self-confident people that I know. And it's nice to share with people what is it that brings that up for us, because it's like for me it was so hard for me to start putting myself out there, just like you said, in situations that kind of pushed me a little bit, because the
Mm.
self-confidence wasn't there. Like all the messages that were given to me as a kid was that I couldn't do anything, that I wasn't pretty enough, I wasn't smart enough, so the self-confidence was like inexistent, right? So to start pushing myself, it was tricky. So I wanted to also focus our talk a little bit towards like young people that are struggling in that sense. Our teenagers today, there's so much struggle because of comparison pressure in schools and social settings and everything that's going on, that you got to do things in this certain way, you got to look in that, like this person, that person. And so how do you see these things that you have learned that can help our teenagers today to reach this space of just showing up, show up as you are, and it's fine, and take me as I am, or just go your own way? How do you see that being helpful for our teenagers today?
So for an experience for me personally is, I looked up to the older kids
Right.
with everything they were doing. I was like, yes, I want to do that. I want to do that. When I was a kid, I never really met anybody who went out sober, who went out without drinking. And to be able to see somebody you look up to that doesn't drink completely changes your perspective. And not only are they not drinking, but like me, for example, I'll go out and I'll be in the middle of an airport, no joke, waiting on a plane to board a plane, right? And
Yeah.
that might be an hour layover. I'm dancing in the airport. I have my headphones on, I have a crazy outfit on, and I am dancing. And I don't care who else is around. Actually, on top of that, I love when people see me dance because it just kind of shakes up their day. They're like, holy crap, what is that guy doing? Like, what is it? What is he on? You know, and they come up and talk to me. I'm like, hey man, like this is just me expressing myself.
Sober.
I do this every day. If you're here, great. If you're not, I'm still doing it.
Yes.
So I guess to answer your question is to be the best person we can be and be a role model for these kids. And you know, if they want to drink, cool, totally fine. You know, but if they want to be able to be confident without drinking, which I believe is a step above that,
Hmm.
then their role model is going to be a little different. And they do have a lot of pressure with like social media and Instagram models, you know, the big bushy eyelashes.
Oh,
Um, so we're living in a really tough world right now. But you know, if you have some people that shake it up a little bit and are a little out of the ordinary, they might start to be the role model for these people, for
hmm.
these kids.
I love that. I love it. It's exactly what we need. We need inspiration. We need people like, we need more people like you that we can take a look at and like, oh, they're happy. You know, like they're just doing their thing and just like standing on their power, right? This is the thing. Like, I want to do the same thing. I want to
Mhm.
inspire the girls that it's like, you don't have to be like anybody else. They're already being it. It's already taken. You came here to be yourself. And I love the what came up for me as you were speaking was the saying like be responsible for the energy you bring into the room. I love that you bring that good vibe. You know, what a good inspiration. When I was a teenager, I didn't have really a powerful, self-confident woman to look up to, you know. So this
Mhm.
is what I want to be for the teenagers today. The same thing that you're saying, like bring the light, you know, bring the light that I have within. And we all have problems, right? I feel like it's about how long are you going to focus on it? How long are you going to be bummed out by it, you know? And then just move on. Just see like what can I do with it? What can I learn from it? It's like so powerful. What can I learn from this situation? And then just get going from it, right? So it's brilliant. I find you to be a very powerful role model for these young boys that are struggling with self-confidence, even adults, you know. The adults are also struggling with self-confidence today, self-love. So yeah, thank you for doing what you do, buddy.
Well, thank you. I actually did an Instagram poll yesterday, and I've never done an Instagram poll. I honestly have been shying away from social media
Uh-huh.
entirely because of, you know, because of the pressure and like this is who
Yeah.
I am, this is how great my life is, you know.
Yes.
But I've been able to use it as a tool. And yesterday I put up a poll, just asking people, you know, if they feel more confident after a few drinks, yes or no. And the results were incredible, to the point where 90% of the people that responded yes, that they do feel more confident after a few drinks. And that is just fuel for me, because not only am I confident sober, but in many ways I'm more confident sober than I was when I was drinking, which is interesting. You know, of course, there's some insecurities that happen every once in a while, but I look at them as like challenges. Like, okay, I'm feeling this type of way. All right, let's go for it. Like even today, meeting up with you, there was some little like
Uh-huh.
nervousness. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna change that nervousness into excitement. And to be honest, like I'm so excited to be here with you and to be able to share this information with people, because it might help somebody.
That's awesome. And that's really true. It's like before you get into this stage of being sober and stepping into your power and just being who you are, being authentic and being fine with whatever happens, there's this illusion that the alcohol is helping, but it's just like hiding some stuff, right? So it's like I totally get it when people respond like they did. 90% say yes, it helps me, but that's such an illusion. If they were able to just get out of it and experiment, you know, being self-confident without it, then they will see the authenticity of that self-confidence without the alcohol, because that's just you. There's no, you know, substance influencing how you behave, which is like a lot better than the way before. So
Agreed.
I would love for you to share with us your gift to our audience today? Like, what is the tool that you're gonna share with us? You're gonna bring for people to have, that little step, the little basic step to start transforming their lives.
So glad you asked this question. Um, so like I said before, like I really resonate with challenges. If somebody says I cannot do something, game over. It's done. It is done. Especially if I feel like resistance and fear, like I have to do it. And I'm able to kind of turn that on in my own brain where
Okay.
it's like, do I think I could do it? I challenge myself.
Right.
Um, and so one day, my mom and I decided to sit down and to come up with a game so that we could challenge ourselves. In reality, I was actually trying to come up with a solution to trick my younger brother into not playing video games so that I could hang out with him. It ended
Okay.
up backfiring on me. So we sat down for like an hour trying to come up with this game, and we came up with this game called Tough Beans. And it's called Tough Beans because that is a saying that my mom says if I don't like something, she goes, "Oh yeah, you don't like it? Well, tough beans. You're doing it anyways."
Okay.
So this game is called Tough Beans that I worked together with my mom on, and this game, after we actually played it, it took about 20-30 minutes. It completely changed both of our lives forever,
Okay.
and it it actually inspired my mom to, she's been sober for about 11 years, but she also had these prescription pills that she was taking from her doctors for her pain. And the topic of taking prescription drugs came up in conversation. And now to this day, she has been sober from her pills for over 6 months. So she was able to eliminate every single one of her prescription drugs without telling her doctor. She just went for it because of the answers from this game.
Wow.
So how this game works is, you sit down. I like to do it with a challenge partner, right? You can do it by yourself 100%, no worries. But in my case, I sat down next to my mom, who is somebody I'm like really competitive with. Like, you can
Okay.
do it, I can do it. So this works the best with somebody who's really close to you that you're competitive with, that will hold you accountable. Um, so then on a piece of paper, you write down 10 things the other person does that you would never do, right?
Okay.
Like my example for my mom was like spend $500 on Amazon
Okay.
a week, right? Or like go get your hair done every week
Uh-huh.
by in the salon. So like, it started going down, and it was fun to do, like
Okay.
this, I would never do this. So I wrote that down. And then, we read it out to each other. And then after that, we ranked the 10 different things that the other person does that we don't do. We ranked them from 1, 2, and 3. 1 meaning like no way they could go without this in their life. 2 is like maybe not. And 3 like, oh, I guess I know they could work. And
Okay.
we ranked them from 1, 2, and 3 based off of if the other person could not go without it for a month,
Okay.
right? So we ranked each other,
Okay.
and then we cross-analyzed it. We're like, okay, what was my 1, 2, and 3? Well, what was your 1, 2, and 3? I go, yeah, you know what? I could do that. So like, she decided to do her number one. Her number one was not going to the salon every week.
Okay.
And she's like, I've been doing that for 8 years, but I can do my own hair. And then mine was, um, she said, I bet for a full month you won't be able to not video yourself. Put yourself on video. Because
Uh-huh.
back then I was really into the Instagram. Hey guys, what's going up? I did like 10 Instagram stories a day.
Wow.
And she ragged on me so bad for that. So even when I mentioned before earlier how like my Instagram isn't as the same as it used to be, it's
Uh-huh.
because of that moment. She made me check in with myself and realize, oh my gosh, like I really do video myself all the time. So we challenged each other. My number one was the videos. My mom's number one was going to the salon. And we said, if I do it, you do it. And so we held each other accountable and challenged each other. And that started the Tough Beans game.
Dude, that is so sweet. That is quite awesome. I can see that working for people like, trying to quit smoking or
Mm.
drinking, like we were talking about. If they get into this challenge with someone else and they see how much they are able to go without those things for 30 days, they might as well not even go back to it. That's really brilliant. I love it. I hope that our audience uses it and get some stuff that is not serving them anymore out of the way. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. It's
You're
amazing.
welcome. And what I can do is I have it all like, into a profile, into like a little page. So it makes it really user friendly to be able to do.
Okay.
And I would love to share that with anybody who's interested in trying to challenge themselves into this tough beans game.
That's perfect. So you got me to the perfect spot. So share with us, how can they reach out to you? How can they find you? What is your Instagram? What's your social media? And how can they reach out to you to request so that they can get this challenge from you? That's perfect.
So my Instagram handle is _BO_green. And a lot of my Instagram has a whole bunch of all of the crazy adventures that I went on all throughout the world. So if you want to see my journey, it's there. I'm going to be transitioning more into like, okay, the depths of me, which is going to be fun because I went through so much transformation that I want to be able to share that as well. So my Instagram handle is _BO_green. And my Facebook is Bo Green, BOGREN, like the color. And so you can reach out to me on there. And also if you just want my personal phone number, I can give that to you as well. And yeah, just reach out to me in either of those platforms and I'll be able to connect.
Perfect. That's awesome. Well, thank you for making the time, Bo, and joining me today to share some of your life, some of what you're doing with us. I'm sure you touched some people with your sharing. That's really greatly appreciated. I really appreciate you. I hope that everything keeps just unfolding in the same way for you. Self confidence just building up and getting easier and easier, and more people for you to influence with this good stuff.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity. You're always a blessing to speak to, and you're just a light in my life. So, and I love your background. Like you're in the yurt with the with the woods back there. It's just like it's heavenly. So, thank you for letting me experience this.
Yeah, that's really like one of my reasons for gratitude in the morning. That's one of the things that I will be sharing this summit, some gratitude exercises and stuff to get to a place where you can see the external things to be grateful for. So yeah, this is one of the top ones for me. Thank you, Bo. Enjoy the rest of your day. I appreciate your presence here. I really hope that people will reach out to you to get going with that, challenge and get going with you with your practices and everything. And I hope you come back soon so we can chit chat some more and bring some more goodies to our people.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you everybody for listening.
Awesome. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.
Love.